back to another exciting video here at K.L.P Entertainment. I'm your host, Kennedy Lucas, and you tuned in now to The Late Show with K.L.P. Of course, we started this mini-series. Of course, K.L.P Entertainment have provided something new for us. Of course, we're calling it the K.L.P mini-series. What that is, if you missed it in the last video, what this video is of course we're taking different topics and I just talk about them here on the show because you guys really do enjoy these kind of shows. I'm not talking about gaming, I'm not talking about tech. I'm leaving that for the podcast and radio shows. On this show in specific, I want to get in front of the camera and I just want to talk to you guys here on today's show. A lot of people who have these talk shows, either if your talk shows on Facebook, YouTube, or out there on different websites, people are talking about just random stuff. So that's what I want to, that's kind of the direction I want to take for Late Show with K.L.P, and you guys been enjoying it. So of course we're going to talk about it. If you guys haven't seen it yet, please go see it now. Of course, Bayview Lodge and 3rd Street is out on YouTube at K.L.P Entertainment. If you haven't seen both those movies, I encourage you, please, after tonight's show, please go watch those two films. Very good films made by yours truly, Kennedy Lucas, me. Remade, and just, it's amazing. I heard that Bayview Lodge was chilling for some of the people out there, and 3rd Street was more real. So it was just amazing to see those two movies come to life and to really bring action. Of course, K.L.P Entertainment is working up right now on a 2020 film. What is it? You'll see later on in details on my social media at Instagram and Snapchat. Of course, follow me on Snapchat, y'all. My Snapchat has been booming lately. A lot of followers and a lot of good people are Snapchatting me, and they're chatting me up. They added me as their friend list. It's amazing to see the Snapchat grow. I'm so excited about that, and I can't wait more developments for my Snapchat. It's amazing. So we're going to talk about more news announcements and more stuff later on in a future video. But today, we're here to get down to the goods, y'all. So this one goes out to a lot of my Atlanta Dirty South Dirty Birds. Now, most of you guys don't know. If you don't know by now, you should know, of course, K.L.P Entertainment is headquarters here in Atlanta. We are here in downtown Atlanta. So we're going to talk about something that can relate to people who lives either on the greater outskirts of Atlanta, live in Atlanta, or if you're living in different counties. Let's say Gwinnett County, let's say DeKalb County, let's say Decatur, let's say Cobb, let's say Conyers, let's say I was going to say LaGrange. LaGrange is nowhere near Atlanta. That's all I can think of right now. Marietta, Sandy Springs, Johns Creek. We're going to talk about this, y'all, just because why not? We're going to talk about driving in Atlanta. Dun, dun, dun. Yes, driving in Atlanta and traffic. Let's talk about it. Why not, right? As people who live in Atlanta, we're going to talk about the traffic and driving in Atlanta, but ain't shit going to happen to it. It's going to be the same, or it might be worse. So let's just get it out the way. Let's talk about it. You guys might enjoy it. But ain't shit we can do about it. I tell this people, and I say this, sorry about the French, y'all, but I say this at work. Different jobs I have, CEO of K.L.P Entertainment and property management. People with property management, we complain about the traffic, go into the office, it's traffic. People at K.L.P Entertainment complain about traffic. Sorry, it's Atlanta. Welcome. So it's a lot of businesses like us, we're moving to Atlanta. Stop moving to Atlanta, we fool. You guys seen that on Facebook? Yeah. So we're here to talk about driving in Atlanta, of course. We developed about 4 questions, and then I'm just going to answer the question for sure. So what is your favorite or least favorite place to drive? Work. I'm just kidding. No. My favorite place to drive, I like to go to the store. I know that sounds so boring, but I like it because, okay, so I'll be honest. I spit real stuff to you guys. I don't go to Publix. I think Publix is so expensive. There's no need for me to go to Publix. I'm not this big baller where I'm going to the grocery store and I'm going to the biggest, finest store that has the most expensive stuff. Guess what store I go to, y'all? Kroger. I go to Kroger to get my food ingredients for my house. That's where I go. I don't go anywhere else but Kroger. Kroger, Ingles, Piggly Wiggly. Shout out to Macon, Milledgeville, Jones County, and Gray people. Piggly Wiggly. again, I don't go to these exotic stores like Publix. Publix is a great store. I think Publix is a little too bland for my taste. Um, for God bid, I do not go to Walmart. I go to Walmart when I really need to go buy a techie item. Um, and I will say that's my least. Well, that's not my least. I have a least favorite place to drive, and I'll get to that in a minute. But I don't go to Walmart simply because those lines are ridiculous. Walmart, it's okay store. It's just not good for groceries. I mean, some people shop at Walmart for the groceries. That's great. My parents used to shop at Walmart for the groceries for us. But again, I go to Kroger. I use a Kroger card. I get gas points on my gas. It's just so easy to use. So I don't go to the smashy as Publix or Whole Foods or Sprouts. Like I don't go to that kind of fancy store. I go to Kroger. That's my favorite place to go when I am buying ingredients for cooking with K.L.P, which you guys should go see that video right now. Of course, I botched my speech there, and I'm trying to give you guys a plug. But so there's that. Kroger's my favorite because when I'm going to buy ingredients, I'm buying food. I'm not saying that I'm a fatty. I like to buy food. I like to make sure my house refrigerator is stocked with food. So that way I know the ingredients that I'm going to cook for dinner that day. I'm a cook person. You know, I never eat out that much. I cook dinner because it saves you money, honestly. For all of you guys who eat out every day, don't do that because it's so expensive to eat out every single day. Learn how to cook and cook your food. Just saying. So that's my favorite place to drive. My least favorite. Okay, so this goes out to a lot of us, a lot of millennials, a lot of grown-ups who have cars. My least favorite is going to go get my car fixed. Whether it's going to go get an oil change. Well, not so much of an oil change, but let's say if I need some new tires or my engine, God forbid, my engine's out or something is wrong with my vehicle, I have to take my vehicle in. That's one of my least favorite places to drive because it takes a while. Do not go to Pet Boys. For all of you millennials and you're driving, and this is for grown folks too, but a lot of people who have your cars, do not go to Pet Boys because it's the hugest ripoff. I don't care if Pet Boys is listening to me. You're $600 for a minor fix from another mechanic can do it in $300, and you have to wait 10 hours to get an oil change. It's ridiculous. Honestly, it's so ridiculous. I got a top five by my gym. I go there and they take about 30 minutes to get an oil change. It's fast and I love it. So that's my least favorite to go. I went to Pet Boys to get some cars fixed before. I dropped $600. That sucked. I've dropped $300 at Firestone. These mechanics, y'all, they honestly, be careful where you go to get your car fixed. Be very, very careful. Honestly, I want to say that to the bottom of my heart because these mechanics, these big boys like Pet Boys and Firestone, some stores like that can be ripoffs. Now, I'm not saying all their mechanic shops are like that. Certain select ones are very, very shady. They take a very, very long time for you to tell you what you already know what's wrong about your car and charge you about $1,000 to get it fixed. It's a scam. Be careful which mechanics you go to. So I hate going to that. I don't really have to do this as much. I had to do this when I had to renew my my driver's license. Everyone knows it. If you live in Georgia, everyone knows it. Fucking DDS. Honestly, excuse my French, but I mean what I say. DDS takes the longest time. I remember I had to go. So I had ordered my driver's license renewal, and it didn't get delivered to my house. So I had to go to DDS and redo it. It took almost about 3 hours to get something like that done. So I really, really, really hate driving to those. Another place, which I'm not ragging on this place because Gwinnett Medical is really, really amazing at what they do. I hate driving to hospitals. True story, short story. My short story begins when my little brother cut up his finger at work. And I was at the theaters. I was watching Fantastic Beasts. He cut his finger. He was in the hospital. He went to Gwinnett Medical. He texted me. He called me with urgency, like, "Hey, my middle name's Lucas. He called me Lucas. Lucas, I'm at Gwinnett Medical. Please come meet me now." So I went there. People coughing, people sick, people bleeding. That shit was a horror fest. It was just like, I'm looking around and I'm scared out of my mind. I hate going to hospitals. I really do. I remember the last time I went to a hospital by my personal self was years back when I developed asthma and had to go to K.L.P Medical, and it was the nurses was cute, but I just the thought of the hospital and people sick, people dying, people ill, it makes me nervous. I hate hospitals. Not saying the hospitals are terrible; they're great because they serve a great purpose here in America. But honestly, I hate going to hospitals. I hate it. I really do. That's one spot I despise driving to. Honestly. How was my commute? This one is kind of a short answer, but honestly, my commute is hectic, y'all. I say this many times. Me being CEO, me being a student, me being property management, I'm all over Atlanta. I'm in Atlanta for my studio for filming for you guys. I'm at GGC for school. A lot of people know I go to school. Senior year. I can't wait to graduate. Passed 2 of my classes this summer, by the way. So I have to go there. And then I go to another location for property management and out resourcing, making sure property management is good. So I'm all over. I'm all over Georgia. I would say I'm all over Atlanta. I'm not all over Georgia. But I'm all over Atlanta for sure. Business meetings, production meets, school, work, property management. It's a lot that I got going on for my daily hustle, and this is almost every day. So my commute, if I have a day off, people know Kennedy has a day off when there's no videos uploaded, there's no post of anything where I'm at. Kennedy's on a day off. So I like my days off. Do you usually listen to music, talk radio, podcast, or silence while you drive? So Spotify, of course, most people were on Spotify. K.L.P Entertainment is on Spotify. I like to listen to Spotify when I'm out there rolling. Honestly, Spotify. It's $5 a month. If you guys don't have it yet, most people do, but if you don't, what are you waiting for? It's better than Apple Music, I would say, for what I like. Spotify, I pay $5. I pay $5 for Spotify and Hulu. And I'm able to access my playlist while not using my cell phone data, and it streams up my playlist that's downloaded to my phone. So I listen to Spotify when I'm driving anywhere, whether it's driving for meets, production meets, business meets, property management, school, or even my commute back home. I'm listening to some Spotify. Matter of fact, when I leave the studio, I'm gonna listen to Spotify on my way home. So again, it's Spotify for me. I don't really listen to radio. I hate radio. It plays the same 5 songs every 5 seconds. I need a little diversity there. So yeah. What is the best road trip you've been on? I've been on multiple. It's kind of going against driving in Atlanta because we're talking about the traffic and kind of spurred off a little bit. But I'll answer this real quick. The best road trip I've been on. Well, the best fun road trip I've been on was when I went to Gatlinburg with the Mafia. If you guys don't know about the Mafia, shout out to the Mafia, my group of friends. We went to Gatlinburg. Most people know about it. I did a video about it too. The best fun road trip was me going to Gatlinburg. And that comes in first place. And then the second place would be me, Daniel, Reed, and Christopher Morales when we drove to Alabama. That was a production week for the NAIA. That was pretty fun. Driving there was fun. I listened to music. We talked. It rained. We were tired. But that trip was fun. Driving back was horrific because my stomach was hurting. I had some bad mac and cheese that they served. And the production wasn't finished, meaning that a production game got delayed by 1 day, and we couldn't do that because we all had other jobs to do. So the NAIA, they're probably still pissed off at us about that. And we probably won't get hired again because we left. But honestly, we had things to do. That wasn't part of the schedule. So, but that comes in second place. Traveling with those guys, I actually do miss those guys. Those guys were fun to hang out with for about a week, so it was good. They were a little bit shady about our payment though. We are kind of self-contracted a little bit, and a lot of people didn't. They were kind of sketchy on the payment, making sure payment wasn't right. So just it's kind of shaky, kind of a little shady a little bit. So there's that. That was the best. Now, the worst road trip, okay, it wasn't worse, but it just wasn't my favorite. I went with GGC men's soccer to Delray Beach because I had to do some coverage before the tournament. It was okay. It was just a bunch of boys. It was a bunch of guys. And, it's cool to hang out with some guys, but I wanted some girls there too. It's too many dicks, So, so before we close out, I know I kind of rambled a little bit, but you guys like this show. Driving in Atlanta sucks. Ain't nothing we can do about it. 85, when I was coming home from property management, 85 was terrible. When I went to the gym all the way in Snellville, 85 was still terrible. 316 was okay. Coming back from the gym, heading back to the studio, up to 85, that was terrible. It sucked, y'all. It really did suck. So it's just something we got to get used to. A lot of people complain about our traffic, but honestly, you're just going to have to get used to it. Atlanta ain't going nowhere. Business people ain't going nowhere. So it's going to get worse. We just got to bear with it. I don't think it'd be that worse, but it's going to get, it's here to stay. Traffic is here to stay. So that's going to wrap it up here. Of course, driving in Atlanta and just talk about traveling in general. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's show. I know we are, I'm trying to stay tuned for the 7-minute mark, but we're just not going to make it, y'all. We talk too much. So please stay tuned for later on to this show here at K.L.P Entertainment as we talk about more stuff here on the channel. Of course, with diversity of content, of course, with the podcast shows and radio shows as well. That's going to do it for tonight's show. Of course, stay tuned for K.L.P Entertainment for more content. I'm your host, K.L.P. Kennedy Lucas. Y'all have a great night and stay swanky.